I'm doing an informative speech on candle making. What comes to mind when you see candles? We associate candles with celebrations like birthdays or special occasions like weddings. According to the history of candle making, candles have been used for thousands of years, and up until the early 1900s, they were used for the single source of artificial light. As stated by the history of candle making, originally candles were made from tallow, which was extracted from cows and sheep in the early Egyptian and Roman times. I'm pretty sure that all of us, in one way or another, have used candles. We use candles for celebrations, romantic experiences, house decorations, and even special occasions. For some of us, using candles is part of a daily routine. The great part about making your own candles is that they are very inexpensive to make, and you can put a lot of different ideas and creativity into them. Last summer, I had the pleasure of decorating candles for my family reunion, and ever since then, I have grown to love creating and making different kinds of candles. I'll explain the most basic things about candle making, which includes getting the right materials, melting the wax, and a few safety precautions. Let's start by going over some of the safety precautions. Please listen to me when I say this. It can save you a lot of time and trouble. How to make candles suggests that it would be a good idea to cover your work area with newspaper or wax paper. And the reason why they say this is because dried wax can be very hard to scrape up on certain surfaces. Do not pour wax down your drain because it will clog it up. And another important fact is wax is very flammable at high temperatures. While wax is heating, it should never be left alone. Now let's begin by doing the most important thing, which is to gather all of the materials and tools needed. The first step to candle making is to gather all the items or things you may need. You will need wax. How to make candles suggests for you to purchase paraffin from a craft store, or you can use some old candles from around the house. I think that's the more creative way to do it. You will need wicks. These can also be purchased from a craft store, but you can try making your own wicks from very thickly braided cotton strings. You will need to set up a double boiler. You can use an actual double boiler, or you can make your own double boiler using a pan and a jar, or a pan and a coffee can, or something like that. You will need a mold to pour your wax into. You can also use cookie cutters, paper or plastic cups, ice cube makers, or anything that will hold shape but release the wax easily. If you want to be more creative, there are two optional ingredients. You can use crayons or buy wax dye to add color to the crayons, or you can use scented oils to make the candles smell good. Okay? Your next step would be to melt the wax. Start by putting the wax into a double boiler. Heat the wax until the water begins to boil. Once the water starts to boil, turn it down and melt the wax. Cajun Candles and Soap Making Supplies states that to make sure that you do not let the wax boil, because it could catch on fire, as I explained earlier. If you want to, you can add the wax dye or the crayons or the oil to set the candles and make colors, and make sure you stir it real good. Now that your wax is melted, Let your creative juices flow and create any type or shape of candle you desire using the molds you selected. Now that I have told you how to make candles, try making your own and use your imagination. Be very creative and make anything you like. Candle making is also a great way to have family time. Have fun and enjoy making your own candles.